Okay, this is week 3 of PDL's Paldex League. We're against DMBs or B-Boy, and as you can see, the Terra Caps are not as threatening as last week's with Mischievous and Kamala. Obviously the Palafin is a big threat. There's Grassy Terrain with the Rillaboom, which could come, may not come, because it obviously means Crocodile would have to run high horsepower instead of Earthquake, but you would also maybe want to weaken Iron Treads and BAXCALIBUR's Earthquake into Heatran. However, they're still pretty strong considering its stab for Treads and BAXCALIBUR has 145 base attack, so yeah. You would also be giving Hearthflame Grassy Glide if you did bring Grassy Terrain, but yeah. They may also anticipate me to bring Grassy Seed Sceptile, for example, and they don't want me to proc that on Burden. They do have other threats in Latios. Hatterene I think is really strong here because with the right set it could probably take a hit from Hearthflame, take a hit from BAXCALIBUR, take a hit from Gengar even, and Medicham. Medicham would have to run Poison Jab, which I would need to run like Choice Banded P-Jab to kill max HP max defense Hatterene, or I'd have to run Adamant Life Orb to make it so that Hatterene can't switch in, because I'm pretty sure that Adamant Life Orb CC into Adamant Life Orb Poison Jab will always kill Hatterene if it's max HP max defense and comes in on the CC. So yeah, but it's really annoying here because it can be a Nuzzlebot into, Bax, Medi, Hearthflame, Gengar, and can Draining Kiss all those guys, and can be good into Mandibuzz. I think most likely some sort of weird Calm Mind plus Nuzzle Hat can be really good here. Maybe Nuzzle, Calm Mind, Psynoise, Draining Kiss. I don't think you really have to bring Mystical Fire for Treads, so yeah. Hawlucha obviously is a pain to deal with in terrain, but BAXCALIBUR does have Ice Shard, which is still good into it, with Sword Stance. Mischievous can be annoying with Wisp sets, and depending on the Terra that they bring, whether it be like Terra Fairy perhaps, or maybe even like a Terra Steel, expecting like a Zen Headbutt or a Psycho Cut from Medicham, or an Ice Move from BAXCALIBUR. But I think because of Bax and Hearthflame can't be Wisped, so I'm expecting T-Wave on those guys, and Foul Play as well. So yeah, there is merit to bringing Mischievous, but it can also just be a wasted slot because, thankfully, fortunately, Bax and Hearthflame have a very funny thing, which makes them, not care about Wisp. I mean, both two separate things, but you know what I mean. I'm just rambling now. Let's get into the team builder, and the game has been played, but I did just give you my thoughts prior to the game. I obviously know what came, but yeah. But here's the team. We have, starting off, Slowking, Fizzdeath Slowking, obviously because it's the best answer into Palafin. Choice Banded Wave Crash cannot 2-hit KO this set. I put the rest in Spidef because I didn't need it in Fizzdeath, and the Spidef could be helpful against Latios and taking a Magma Storm from Heatran. Obviously Heatran could have Taunt, which makes me not able to switch out with Cheer Reception, but it's still good. T-Wave just to be annoying because that's what Slowking does. Ice Beam anticipating a Rillaboom switch in, and also just good into Latios and Hawlucha. Scald is just good in general. You can also get the burns and stuff. Obviously Palafin should always run Throat Chop, and that does do a lot more damage, and obviously 2-hit KOs with Choice Band, but the helmet at least punishes it for hitting me. So yeah. Then we have BAXCALIBUR. Now BAXCALIBUR really doesn't need any speed. It's already slower than Crocodile. You know, okay, Rillaboom can run speed, but if Rillaboom doesn't run, if Rillaboom doesn't run, it does run speed, then it's much more frail and much more, you know, susceptible to a +2 Ice Shard from BAXCALIBUR. I didn't feel the need to have a Scale Shot, especially since Hatterene is there. If I remember correctly, even in grassy terrain, Swords Dance EQ always kills Heatran, even if it's like max HP, max defense. It would need literally a Sugar Berry. Icicle Spear with Adamant can OHKO the Hatterene at +2. If I remember correctly, Palafin actually gets 2-hit KO'd by +2 Icicle Spear, which is insane. Like, this guy is so strong, man. An Ice Shard just, you know, hits everything else. It can OHKO Hawlucha even after the Grassy Seed defense boost and stuff like that. I only put 40 speed. It's been a while since the game, but I am pretty sure I put 40 speed because I made it so that my Bax outspeeds, well, obviously outspeeds no speed Rillaboom and no speed Mischievous, but also outspeeds a Heatran that may want to speed creep Mandibuzz. And the speed is also just like to still be able to possibly outspeed Mischievous, because Mischievous might not run like max speed, because if it doesn't, then, you know, Bax is probably going to kill it before it even gets a chance to T-Wave Bax. So yeah. Then we have Medicham, which again didn't need much speed, so it can go Adamant here. You know, Adamant Life Orb is really strong. OHKO's pretty much everything. Again, like I said, CC into P-Jab always kills max HP, max defense Hatterene. I didn't run Ice Punch for Latios because Latios is probably gonna outspeed. I'm gonna probably still OHKO me if it's like, you know, Specs, Dracometer or whatever. I just gave it a bit of HP and defense EVs like for some sort of bulk, because it only needs to be 235 speed for whatever reason. I think it was, again, just the same reason as Bax. I think, can't remember why I had this specifically. It may have been something to do with like what would Kamala's speed probably be, and then what speed it would be at a +1, maybe. I don't know, I'm not sure. But yeah, CC, P-Jab, Zen Headbutt, it's everything. Can obviously OHKO the Hawlucha, and can OHKO the Palafin, and the upper hand is there for Grassy Glide Rillaboom and for Jet Punch Palafin, because I was very confident that Palafin was going to be banded, so if he does click Jet Punch, then, you know, I can just upper hand that guy and kill him. Then we go into Hearth Flame. So Hearth Flame here has Grassy Glide, because if they do bring Grassy Terrain, then it can outspeed and do a lot of damage to Palafin. Ivy Cudgel is good at everything. Mold Breaker breaks through Heatran's Flash Fire. If it runs Ability Shield, then it's not Sugar Berry, so there's that. Knock Off, because it's just a really good move in general. You can knock off Latios, you can knock off a Heatran's Ability Shield, you can knock off, you know, like Mischievous and Hatterene or anything like that, and then I have Spikes, because because Hearth Flame threatens a lot of things out. It forces a lot of things to switch out, so I can capitalize on that with Spikes, and Mold Breaker into Hatterene's Magic Bounce ignores that, so I can get the Spikes up always, and it just, you know, offers more progress in that sort of sense. Max HP, max speed, max attack to speed die with Latios. And then I have Sceptile, which is sort of just becoming a mirror bot, really. But yeah, I mean, again, upper hand, just to counteract Rillaboom and Palafin's priority moves. You have Low Kick, which does a lot of damage into Heatran and ignores the Grassy Terrain EQ nerf. Leaf Blade is getting to Palafin, and I can obviously outspeed, and Palafin can't Okomi, you know, with a water move at least, even as banded. And then I have Acrobatics just for Hawlucha and Rillaboom. The Mirror Herb is just so I can steal Hawlucha's SDs, or even like a Palafin bulk up or something like that, or even a Rillaboom SD. So yeah. Obviously can also hit Crocodile with Leaf Blade, and Acrobatics can hit the Hawlucha and Rillaboom. And the Latios, that's probably the thing I can do the most damage to Latios with. And has Terra Flying, obviously. Oh, Medicham has Terra Fairy because Crocodile's Dark moves, Latios is Draco Meteor. I don't have a resist to Hawlucha's Flying move, but it's, you know, it makes me at least neutral to it. Mischievous can't hit me with a Fairy move. So yeah. I mean, it can't hit me for super effective with a Fairy move if I go Terra Fairy. And then I have Last Mon Mandibuzz, just max HP, max Spadef. It's my best answer into Latios. I think I was playing around with Bone Rush for a bit, or whatever that ground move is. But it still doesn't really do that much to Heatran, and it's very situational. So I figured, let me just put Knockoff on it. Knockoff is a good move. U-turn to pivot out of Heatran's Magma Storm. Defog just to remove like rocks from Crocodile or Heatran. And Roost obviously just to recover. So yeah, that was the team, and I think I should have really probably put 0 speed IVs just so I can always guarantee the slow U-turn, but yeah, it doesn't really matter too much in this game. But let's get into the replay. Okay, so here's the replay. They didn't bring Rillaboom after all, so no Grassy Terrain for the Hearth Flame, which does kind of suck, but it means that BAXCALIBUR's EQs hit even harder. So yeah. And they also brought both of their Terra Caps, which I found very unusual. I was like, okay, Mischievous I can see, but Kamala, I don't really know what it can do here. But yeah, I think, I'm trying to remember what I led with. Probably Hearth Flame, right? It's like, cause like, you know, Palafin doesn't want to get hit by grass move. It's not going to be Scarf, is it? Or I think I was choosing between Slowking and Hearth Flame because I was like either Palafin leads or either Latios leads, and I didn't want to be in a situation where my Hearth Flame just dies to Specs Draco Meteor from Latios. So it was like, okay, maybe I go Slowking because realistically nothing can OHKO it. So maybe I did go Slowking, but I don't remember. Let's just get into the game. Yeah, okay, I did go Slowking, and they did lead Latios, so that was good. They bring it, so they click T-Bolt and they get the Para first turn, which sucked. But from this damage, I immediately figured out that it was Expert Belt, because it wasn't Specs damage. So I just clicked T-Wave obviously, and I do get the Para, which is nice. So you know, both models parried first turn, but because I did that and I knew that it was Expert Belt, and now I'm faster with Hearth Flame, I figured let me just make the offensive switch, like capitalize on this, and be on the front foot with Hearth Flame, because I can, yeah, just like switch it on a T-Bolt, but they do Draco Meteor, and I think here I just clicked Knockoff on the Latios. I can't remember why I clicked Knockoff. Did I really do that much damage? Did I really kill? Oh, I think I just anticipated them to switch, or I was sort of like, oh okay, Hearth Flame isn't that necessary, and I don't want anything else to get hit. Maybe I should have gone into the Mandibuzz actually, but maybe you know what? Maybe I was just good, and I was like, you know, they're gonna think I bring Mandibuzz, so they're gonna switch out, so let me get the damage. I don't know, whatever. But oh, I forgot to say, for this game, I literally just came into it like, I'm gonna have my 2 guys that can take hits, and then I'm gonna have 4 guys which just do a lot of damage, like like my 4 physical guys, because as long as I can, I think it was like as long as I can get rid of Heatran or get rid of like Hatterene, and also just because I have 4 really strong guys, I will eventually like come out on top, because I just needed to take 1 hit from Latios and chip down Palafin enough. I just needed to take 1 hit from those guys, and then I would like be good because of how strong my own guys are as well. So they switch in the Mischievous, I take out the Eviolite, and now I can just Ivy Cudgel. And they bring in the Palafin, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to get jet punched. They may have flipped turn, but they didn't, so I bring in this, and here I switch out, because I was like, okay, well, they're either going to bring in like a Hawlucha or a Heatran on my, like on my Sceptile, and my Bax lives a CC from Hawlucha, and can OHKO the Heatran, because also I have a lot of HP. But they bring in Kamala here. I think it's Icicle Spear, because I was like, let me just possibly, I don't want to SD into Heatran's Air Balloon, right? So yeah, I just Icicle Spear him. And then they do bring the Heatran next, and it is Balloon, but I looked at the calc and nothing could kill me, not even like a max special attack Flash Cannon. So I just Icicle Spear, because I figure, yeah, I can EQ next turn because I'm so bulky. And they do reveal to be max special attack Flash Cannon. I think after the game they were saying they really wish they brought Steel Beam instead, which would have been insane. But they made a good switch into Hawlucha on my EQ. I go into this guy and force the helmet chip, and I can just switch out again. I think I probably just went into Hearth Flame, or I just chilled because I lived. Yeah, I lived, so I can just do that. And I just Icicle Spear again, because it obviously kills. I think when I saw the no terrain, I was like, okay, Hawlucha might be like Limber, Defog, and like support stuff, Encore, but it wasn't. I switched in here because I was anticipating the SD. I was thinking maybe this could be like Choice Scarf, because it hasn't clicked SD yet, but maybe it wants to click SD, you know, just to capitalize on my double, and I can bring in the Sceptile to get the Mirror Herb, but they click Throat Chop, anticipating Slowking. And I click Acrobatics here because, you know, I don't really need Sceptile to do anything anymore. Bring in Bax because Ice Shard kills. I was thinking maybe Yachi Berry, but it's Bax, he's so strong anyways. They bring in the Palafin, I think I go into Slowking again. Yeah. They click Throat Chop, really good from them. 79 is a lot of damage. I just go into Mandeville's because I don't really need it anymore, and it's Choice Banded, so I know it's not going to do much. Just U-turn here, and I think I go into Medicham. This is revealed to be Flame Body, which makes sense. Yeah, I go into Medicham. I thankfully don't get burnt. Obviously kills. And then here I'm like, okay, well, let me just scout out if this is, you know, gonna click Jet Punch, because I don't want my Medicham to just die. But either way I still have to sack something, so yeah. And then I bring in Medicham, and I know it's Choice Banded, so he gets the upper hand kill. Yeah. So that's how the game went. It went pretty much like to plan, which I'm happy about, and I'm happy that Medicham got on the scoreboard, so that was nice. And yeah, GG's to B-Boy.